Shalom Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Al-Shai, Ba'ashem Kakadash, the born to the apostles, and those great millstone for teaching us his truth, peace, and blessings. To the hopeful, Shalom. Yahweh is the name of the Honey Father, named Hebrew, Ba'ashem is the name, and Yahweh Shai is the name of the begotten Son. Background lesson, and that's in the title, the demonization of the Israelites. Now, I recently came across the article, which you're about to get right here to get information at hand with everything that was about to do, with the pressure he's about to apply and the grip he's about to tighten. You know, you're already seeing the narratives and the images these devils are trying to form on the Israelites. You know, with all these big words and names they always like to throw out in order to paint us in a bad way. As you see, they always like those the word black into the mix, saying black Hebrew Israelites, extremist, cult, hate group, and everything that we say is hate speech and all these different things. So you're going to see these devils really start to move very, very soon, as you're about to see within this article right here. Especially with everything that's going down with Israel versus Hamas, and also us speaking against Babylon the Great, you know, and revealing the lies of Esau, Edom, and for ultimately, speaking the truth, That's why you're going to have these devils start to make more algorithm changes and ultimately lead up to the famine of the word. But let's dive right into this article real quick. Get a couple seconds in mind, and Lord's will lesson be edifying to the point. Now, it says, Ray warns of increased terrorist threats, says U.S. is in a dangerous period. So they may try to tie us to these so-called, terrorist threats. And you're already seeing the heavy names they always like to throw out once again. I mentioned briefly earlier, like with the extremists and all these different things. As the FBI Director Christopher Wray said Tuesday, the war between Israel and Hamas has led to a spike in threats against the U.S. and the United States, warning that we are in a dangerous period as various terrorist groups look to leverage the conflict for their own causes. Now, with WFI brawling and fighting with the Palestinians, you best believe he's also going to try to use that for his own benefit, because now you're just giving this devil ammo to use against this truth, against this ministry. What they did was out of order and it is off, man. Because guess what? They brought blame to the ministry, but they brought heat to this truth, and not in a good way. Now we're gonna read this right here, and I think we get a few more on the bottom, which I kind of skimmed through. Now it says the threat of international terrorism in the U.S. has largely subsided in recent years, particularly since the defeat of Islamic State in Iraq and Syria. But senior American officials say Hamas' deadly October 7th attack on Israel has created a new dynamic with dangerous implications at home and abroad. That's why we also got to be careful of certain things that we say, as also brothers have put out warnings and just to be wary of things that we say. Because you're going to have these devils go a lot harder, especially as we progress a lot in recent days, and try to use many of these different things against us, Especially with WFI, going out brawling, fighting. Is he, what is his name? I think Chief Ephraim, for the exact guy, but him saying, all camps come together, all camps, we're going to go for round 2, this and that. A lot of these guys are through, man. And definitely, some of them are agents, man. Now, let's see. Definitely get this runner right here, and then I think we'll get a little more on bottom. He said the FBI has no evidence of an imminent threat for a foreign terrorist group, but he noted that since Hamas' attack on Israel, Al-Qaeda has issued its most specific call for all violence against the U.S. in years, while the Islamic State has urged its followers to target J communities. And you already see how these devils react when we speak on, the so-called J's. Us revealing, who this devil really is. Dealing with Esau, Edom. And how they're not the true J's. And how they label everything we say as anti-Shemitic and all these different things. As you saw what they kind of did with Kyrie and Kanye. Both of those were nothing but setups in order to try to, put a stop to this word, this truth. Because with that, people were whining and, so-called crying and wanting things to be changed and wanting things to be made to where people are not able to to just say certain things against them, you know? We're putting all these different things that's ultimately leading up to the famine of the word, this truth being removed. You know, Yahweh Hashem Shai removing his prophets off the highways and byways as well as off the internet. Now it says, while the Islamic State has urged its followers to target J communities in the United States and Europe. So here you see how these devils react when we speak on these things too. You know, dealing with the J's and ultimately just who this devil really is. But let's see. You know, once again going back to Kanye and Kyrie, you saw how the masses reacted, the media. You know. Now let's see. I guess we could read this from right here. As we also seen from ISIS, which I'm reading right here. Seen it from ISIS, which isn't ideologically aligned, if I said that correctly, with a group like Hamas, but is still leveraging this current conflict to try to sow the kind of violence, bringing adherents to its cause in a kind of exploitative way. Let's see. On the home front, Ray said big concern with FBI is the violent extremist. And you always like to see those tie the word extremist to us. And all these different big words to really try to paint us as, you know, something evil, you know? Including people inspired by foreign terrorist groups, but also domestic violent extremists will draw inspiration from the ongoing conflict to carry out attacks against Americans. I think we read the last bit right here. We've seen that already with the individual we arrested last week in Houston who had been studying how to build bombs and posted online about his support for deleting J's, Ray said, and with the tragic killing of a 6-year-old Muslim boy in Illinois in what we're investigating as a federal hate crime. So, what is in this ultimately goes to show the times that we are coming into. It says right here, it is a time to be concerned. He said we are in a dangerous period, and ultimately we need to be vigilant and, you know, wary of and careful of things, you know, that we say. But it's also, once again, it's going to show how close we are getting to the end of this place, man. Because this is ultimately the build up towards the famine of the word, you know, this thing, you know, getting removed. But I think we got pretty much what we want on this article. But once you ultimately see this narrative that these devils trying to form on us, as they've been trying to do, and now with everything that's going on, you best believe this devil's going to try to use everything to his advantage to especially try to remove this word, this truth. Now, this is the persecution and the things that we will go through for teaching this truth, for standing stiffly and boldly for Yahweh Bashim Shai. Now, this is Matthew 10:22-24. And you should be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endureth to the end shall be saved. So we're going to be hated for Yahweh Shai's name's sake. And we're going to be targeted, man. Now, verse 23, but when they persecute you in the city, flee into another, for verily I say unto you, you shall not have gone over the cities of Israel till the Son of Man be come. And ultimately, you got to know what you signed up for. You know, and the magnitude and the seriousness of what we're a part of, man. This thing is not to be taken lightly. Verse 24, the disciple is not above his master, nor the servant above his Lord. So also going to show we're not exempt from these things. We're going to face persecution. We're going to be hated. As it mentioned in John 15, how we're going to be hated by the world. You know? As Amos 8 and 11-12, also another main point. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord God, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread nor thirst for water, but hearing the word of Yahweh Bashim Shai. Dealing with the famine of the word. But you're also going to see a physical famine, but this one right here is going to the famine of this word, this truth. Now, verse 12, and they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of Yahweh Bashim Shai, and shall not find it. You're going to have people that's going to try to seek out this word. That's going to try to seek out the prophets that were teaching this truth. But as the scriptures mention and go into how the Lord has shut the mouths of his prophets, you know? That's why it's important to seek out Yahweh Bashim Shai and get this truth while you still can, while we're still within this grace period, while there's still time to repent and to get right with Yahweh Bashim Shai. You know, especially seeing with all these end-time signs, these end-time prophecies that will take place and play out before the Yahweh Shai will return. There ain't no time to be playing around, man. Seeing multiple chariot signs, which I just seen one. It was just yesterday, which was, man, I'm still ecstatic about, seeing that one, man. But let's continue on to the main track. Now let's get a few more, and that's gonna be a lesson. John 15 and 18 to 20. Because once I saw the article, I kind of felt like they were gonna say, certain things. Because you already see the narrative they're trying to, form on us once again, and how they're trying to paint us in a bad way, labeling us extremist, cult, hate group, and everything that we say is so-called hate speech. And ultimately, all these different changes they're trying to make in order to try to, hinder this truth. But let's see, we got that. Now it's it's like John 15, 18 to 20. I don't think I got this yet. Yeah, right here. It's like in Matthew 11, 5 and 11 to 12. And blessed are you when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. And you're seeing all these, scoffers, these mockers coming out and saying all these crazy and wicked things against the apostles, the elders, especially with everything the devil is saying, extremists, hate group, cult, and all these different names, man. That's why it says, blessed are ye. Yahweh Hashem Shai got this, man. Verse 12, rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven. There's a great reward and a prize waiting for us if we endure, if we remain faithful, if we believe. For so persecuted they, the prophets which were before you. So, listen, we're not exempt from these things. We're going to be faced with persecution, hate. Just as the Lord Yahweh Shai, face those things, we're going to go through it also. Which you'll see right here. It's the world. If the world hates you, you know that it hated me before it hated you. If you are of the world loves his own. But because you're not of the world, but I've chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hates you. That's why when we speak this truth, people look at us like we're crazy. That we don't know what we're talking about. They look at us like we're the bugged out ones. Like we're the so-called black sheep. But once again, it's going to show how out of order and wicked this place is and how backwards things are. But as right here, Yahweh Hashem Shai has plucked us out of this place, man. So when people hear this thing, they look like we're crazy. They're not able to perceive nor to understand these things, man. It's not given unto them. Verse 20, remember the word that I sent to you, the servant not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my saying, they will keep yours also. So hey, there you go. And with a few more, and that'll be that. Now it's Ephesians 5 and 15. Now it says, see then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. Now we be careful and wary, especially in these times that we are coming into it, and with everything the devil's getting ready to do. He's going to apply that pressure, and you will tighten that grip. That's why you had brothers once again make those lessons, to beware and be careful of things that we say. We need to apply wisdom, because we don't want to bring blame, to this ministry, to this truth. But as we were seeing more restrictions and more things pretty much being made to hinder this truth, just go to show we're never going to end this place and what's going to lead up to the famine of the word. Matthew 10:16, behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. So we're to be, wise as serpents, harmless as doves. We're not to go out and take up arms and do all these different things. Especially dealing with the cheap Ephraim when he said, all camps unite. Like the dude's calling the Avengers. We're to wait upon Yahweh B'Shem Shai. We're to let the Lord fight our battles. And then, when Yahweh B'Shem Shai will lift that standard, when he will bestow that power upon his men, then we will be able to, let loose. To really, put our hands on these heathens. But, we apply wisdom. We need to be patient. 1 Peter 5 and 8, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. So, the main point, be sober and be vigilant. Because the devil is trying to get everything he can in order to put a stop to this thing. But as it's going to, you can't do anything against the truth, but for the truth. This devil's trying to stop prophecy, but in reality, he's fulfilling it. Doing doing the exact opposite of what he wanted to do. And we're going to shut it down with 2 Corinthians 2:11. And let Satan get revenge of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So, though it may be speaking about certain groups right here, you can see how this the finger will be pointed at us also, with all these different names and big words they'll try to use against us: extremists, cults, hate groups, and all these different names. You can see how the narrative will kind of also be formed around us, especially for speaking against the Jays and how they're not the true people, exposing the lies of Esau Edom. And you especially know that he doesn't want that to come out. So we're going to see how this will pan out. We just got to wait and see. But I do give all praises, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh Shem Shai, Bashem Kakadash, that belongs to the apostles, and all script millstone for teaching us his truth, peace, and blessings. So hopefully, like the Israel Shalom. See you next one, Lord.